Cool. And as always, I gotta ask this question. Can everyone see my screen? Awesome. All right, so welcome everyone to Space City Rocketry's 2021-2022 meeting, Project Zenith for September 20th, 2021. This is the first meeting with all the new members, so it's gonna be very exciting. So first, before anything, let me introduce myself so you all know who you're talking to. After me will be Gustavo. So I am a senior mechanical engineering student. I was formerly part of a propulsion. I was the lead for 2020, 2021, and I'm a member in 2019, 2020. This is gonna be my third year in Space City Rocketry. A couple of fun facts. Well, one of them is a fact, which is I'm the host of Space City Sports Podcast. It's a very small podcast I have where we talk about sports. And then this right here, 4-time All-Star Hooper for Space City Rocketry, that is made up, but I just wanted to include it. On the very right, you'll see me in a trip in, when I went to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. Had a lot of fun. And then you have two pictures of my two dogs, Mafi and Roscoe.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Irvin. But my name is Gustavo Santana. I am the chief engineer for Space City Rocketry this coming year. Just a little bit about me. I'm a senior mechanical engineering major. So I do like mechanical things. Rockets don't have too many moving parts, but you know, I can still apply whatever I learn. I've been an SCR member since 2020. So actually just a year ago I joined. So all of you new people, I was in the same shoes as you just a year ago. So that's exciting. I'm an expert duct tape applicator. So I had a job 3 summers ago that all I had to do was put tape on things. I learned a lot about putting tape on things. Tape is really useful. You can use it for a lot of things. You'd be surprised how many things you could fix with just duct tape. I'm a hobby rocketry mentor. So any of you guys who are also in hobby rocketry, trying to get your L1 certifications or anything like that, you might be seeing me around. And I love the outdoors and playing my guitar. So that is me.
Thank you, Gustavo. So today, I guess this is some of the things we're gonna be going over. So first is gonna be a quick introduction about Space City Rocketry, give everyone some information of the team. Then next up, we're going to be talking about the sub-team leads, introducing the sub-teams and all the leads. A weekly shout out that we do every week for members who've been working hard throughout the week. Then a Discord tutorial about how to use Discord so everyone can be more proactive in there. Talk a little bit about general meetings and about next week. And then some of the stuff we expect for Space City Rocketry. And then at the end, we'll have questions. So write your questions down. That way you can ask anything at the end. So let's get started. So first off, welcome to Space City Rocketry, to all the new members that are here, all the returning members. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm excited to go through all of this. So here we go. So Space City Rocketry, so who are we? We're basically a group of students at the University of Houston who work and are very enthusiastic in problem solving and who love rockets and anything aerospace related. We have members all throughout the world. We try to keep it, to have a lot of variety on different majors, ethnic groups, and so on. We're focused on teaching, and we want to give everyone an opportunity to be able to learn and have useful skills that are going to be able to use in their careers while we design a rocket for a competition launch. So for the last years, we participated at Space Force America Cup, SEA. At the event we compete, there's this thing called Intercollegiate Rocket Engineering Competition, or IREC. That's where we compete with the rocket. And most importantly, we'll just be going through all the sub-teams and we'll be building the rocket throughout the whole year. Some history about the team. So it started in 2015 with, again, engineers who want to just grow the team and make it better. And so they started with this project called Prometheus, which was a 10,000 feet rocket, commercial off the shelf. It first competed in 2018. And there was a lot to learn from that rocket, and that's where Oberon started with a 10K COTS category again. It was from fall 2018 all the way to spring 2019, and then it was modified from 2019, 2020. Unfortunately, because of COVID and other stuff, we were not able to finish. So we finally competed in 2021, where we landed first place at SCA Cup. You can go, Gustavo.
Awesome. So a little bit more about the IREC competition. So every year we'll be competing, or we try to compete at the IREC competition. And this year it's going to be happening on the 21st through the 25th of June. So it seems like a little ways away, but it's surprising how fast it'll come around. The way we compete is divided into two main categories. So that is 10K and 30K. And that just means how high we're going. So we don't have to hit 10K or 30K exactly. We just have to be within 30% of that and be as close as possible to our estimated height. Also, another like subdivision of those two main categories is COTS and SRAD. So COTS just means commercial off the shelf, and SRAD means student research and developed. To classify as one of those two things, it just depends on your motor. So if your motor is commercially available, then you'll be competing under the COTS category, and SRAD, you'd be competing under the SRAD category. And that doesn't mean you can't have other COTS components or SRAD components, but yes, that is how the competition is divided up. And this year, we are really excited to be working with our new project, Zenith. So like Irvin mentioned, we've had two rockets in the past, Prometheus and Oberon, and those did great, especially Oberon. And this year we want to be a little bit more ambitious than before, and we want to compete in the 30K COTS category. So Zenith is our rocket that we're going to be competing with there, and it's going to be the first time we're building a scratch rocket, or a rocket from scratch, since 2018, 2019. So that's really exciting. There's a lot of opportunities for learning here and building experience. So I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. Our team is divided into a couple of sub-teams, as you guys may know. So how we kind of approach our projects this year is we have me and Irvin, the chief engineer and project manager. We oversee kind of everything that's going on the team. So all the projects and the rocket and all the sub-teams. And the different sub-teams are, as you guys might have seen before, analysis, avionics, recovery, 30K propulsion, SRAD, structures, and payload. So the only one in there that doesn't really work towards Zenith is going to be SRAD propulsion, because they are working on a hybrid motor, or just an SRAD motor that we're going to be trying to develop for a future rocket. And so we're left with the 6 sub-teams that are developing Zenith, and then also a payload sub-team that might come on later on, and that's what we're going to be using for our payload in the rocket. And then we can touch on that at a later time, how the payload is all set and done.
All right, thank you, Gustavo. So now I think it's time to meet your sub-teams and your sub-team leads. So this is going to be the order in which sub-teams are going to be going. So first off is V with avionics.
Hi, I'm V, the avionics lead, obviously. I'm a computer science student. I'm a sophomore. I'm the AIAA UH webmaster, as well as the hobby rocketry chief engineer. So like Gus was saying earlier, if you're hoping to get your L1s this year, you'll probably be seeing me. So fun facts about me: I'm really big on anything with electronics or computers, and I will talk to you about anything computer related. So if you ever have any questions about anything with computers, let me know. I'm here to answer it. Can you go to the next slide? Awesome. Avionics overview. So avionics is kind of the brains of the rocket. It's where all the electronics are located on, for the most part, on the rocket. We control the releases. Obviously, recovery does the kind of actual landing, but we do the the controlled releases to make sure we release them at the right times. and safely. We collect useful data on the rocket. Obviously, we have a few sensors running on the avionics system to allow us to collect, information that is both used to do the controlled releases as well as just useful information to look around for. Help locate the rocket. Excuse me?
You can keep
I
going,
think that
Vic.
was somebody's like.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was a question. But we help locate the rocket post-launch. So we get the last known GPS coordinates of the rocket so that we can locate it more easily. And then this year, some of our major goals, we're going to be heavily focused on SRAD. Irvin and Gustavo, I think, touched up a little bit on this. So the COD system is commercial off the shelf. That's really the systems that we buy. While SRAD is the systems that we make, student research and design, stuff that we develop in-house. And we kind of have four main focuses this year. We have the ground station, we have our SRAD sensors, our telemetry, and our flight computer, and all of these different parts of avionics. But these are the main categories that we want to focus on this year. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, V. Next up is Haley with structures.
Hey everyone, I'm a junior mechanical engineering major. I'm Haley Stafford. I have been in AIAA since freshman year. I was originally in UAV, and then sophomore year I joined structures, and now I'm the sub-team lead for structures. I'm also one of the mentors for Hobby Rocket team. Some fun things about me. I absolutely love going to see musicals. I own way too many baseball caps for one person. I absolutely love singing. I annoy the hell out of absolutely everyone because of how much I'm just constantly singing. And I'm just really excited to work with everyone. So currently for structures, I guess our responsibilities for the full year is, figuring out the materials, figuring out the pricing, designing everything, and then finding places to get it produced. So that from nose cone, payload bay, avionics bay, and the MM. When it comes to once we have all the pieces and everything, we'll be in charge of the assembly. We'll make sure all of our members understand that. We are currently also kind of pursuing our own SRAD stuff using the X-Winder. Y'all will probably hear more about that in future meetings. All you need to know now is it's our way of producing in-house airframes. Obviously, since we're dealing with so many components that affects everyone, so there's a lot of communication. You'll be hearing from us in pretty much every single one of y'all's sub-teams will be popping in. We, as you can see, have already kind of started to learn to operate machinery between all of our members, so we're all able to work on something individually. And basically, it's a whole lot of problem solving, as everyone has already had to experience thus far on the team.
Thank you, Haley. Next up is 30K propulsion. Tal.
All right, so hi everyone. My name is Tala Shanok. I'm the lead for 30K propulsion. I'm a mechanical engineering student. I'm a junior. I'm also the secretary for AIAA, so our parent org. I am a propulsion vet. I've been a member since last year, and this is overall my third year with AIAA and my second year on SCR. I guess my fun facts why I joined propulsion is that I like to think of propulsion as the team that gets to tip the first domino. Like all the teams set up our like cascade, and we get to set it off. So I'm excited to work with y'all. Next slide, please. So a little bit about 30K propulsion. So we're in charge of, as Irvin and Gustavo mentioned, the motor for Zenith. So our 30K feet flight vehicle. Basically, we're in charge of anything that has to do with its motor. So we get to, first of all, pick what is the best fit motor, justify our choices, and set about like procuring everything that has to do with the motor, assembling it, and transporting it to the launch site. And we're the ones who get to trigger ignition at launch. Along the way, we have to, first of all, coordinate with other sub-teams and make sure that we are, of course, building according to what they have for us and accommodating everything. As well as, of course, just complying with all the rules and regulations set by IRIC, because this is a competition rocket. So yeah, I'm excited to work with y'all.
Thank you, Tala. Next up is Ravi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ravi Desai. I am a junior mechanical engineering major. I'm also the treasurer of AIAA U of H. it is my third year with AIAA U of H and my second year with SCR. So I'm structures lead from last year, 2020 to 2021. A fun fact is that I will beat anyone in a three-point contest. I love to play basketball. This also includes Urban Soriano specifically. And I'm really excited to meet new members and see the team grow. So analysis is really responsible for, firstly, maintaining an up-to-date CAD model of CMIF using our Siemens NX software. We also conduct apogee simulations using programs such as OpenRocket and RockSim. And playing off of that, we are responsible for providing the official apogee estimation for competition. Something new this year is we're trying to learn FEA and CFD, or finite element analysis and computational fluid dynamics, to aid in validation of design choices. And we also use our Siemens software with VMAP and Star CCM Plus for that. Also looking at utilizing mathematical models to analyze the rocket's performance throughout flight, and helping some other sub-teams out with physical testing and data analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. All right, next up is Carlos Soriano.
Hello, everyone. Just congratulations to all the new members. And I'm really happy that there's way more members in the team, but like my brother said, Carlos Soriano, I'm a senior mechanical engineer. I have been in SCR and AIAA for 1.5 years. Some of my hobbies are gardening and basketball. It's a really weird combination there. I'm known for breaking Omar's ankles. And I'll show you Omar on the next slide.
It's not an icebreaker, it's just the officers talking.
Also known for having the best sub team. Actually, I'm just kidding. All the sub teams are the same. I'm also known for my 2008 Honda Civic, and also for Curse Images. So it's a little bit about me. Can you go to the next slide, please? No, it does not have VTEC. It's the really economic, eco-friendly Honda Civic. So, all right. So recovery. So recovery's main objective is to assure that the rocket is secure, intact once it's launched. So what that consists of is designing an ejection system that separates the rocket, and there's multiple ways of doing that. You have things like black powder systems, CO2 systems, and mechanical separation systems. There's also deploying the drogue chute and the main parachute, which can also be obtained with in various different ways, such as single bay dual deployment, dual bay dual deployment, tender descenders, reefing, and then last responsibility for recovery is making sure that the rocket stays together once it's separated. So you have shock cords, quick links, and swivel links. As you can see there, there's some pictures of some different recovery hardware, and there's a picture of Omar, whose ankles I broke, by the way, just in case you didn't hear me. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Carlos. Now, next up is Osvaldo Martinez with SRAD Propulsion.
What's up, guys? As Irvin said, my name is Osvaldo Martinez. You guys are more than welcome to call me Ozzy. I am a junior chemical engineering major. This will be my second year with AIAA and Space City Rocketry. One of my main hobbies is going mountain biking. So if you guys go mountain biking, I need a couple of mountain biking friends. I'm excited to meet the new members and also to get some help making some rocket fuels. Great. So this year, well, actually, SRAD Propulsion is mainly responsible for the development of the hybrid rocket motor for Oberon in the year, hopefully to be completed by the year 2023. We are working with a capstone team to achieve the foundation for the hybrid rocket motor. So we're looking forward for that. It is also our job to lay the foundation for any hardware that we need, as well as operating procedures for the development and production of solid rocket fuels. Main ones we're using is ammonium perchlorate and paraffin wax, as well as test fuels produced using a single grain motor and the modified version of the test stand. So there's a lot of work cut out for us, but it's all going to be super fun going forward. So looking forward to working with all of you guys, especially with all of the other sub teams, since our team does have a lot of research and a lot of work to do. We will be working with almost all of the sub teams at very specific projects to give them a little idea into the development of the new motor. So it'll be fun.
Thank you, Ozzy. And I guess that brought us to the end of all the sub-team leads presentations. And I'm excited to see what each sub-team does for Zenith this year and how every member will fit. Next up is shout outs. So we do this thing every single week where we give members that have done something outstanding, know the reserve recognition, a shout out. So for this week, you met a few of them already. Carlos, Ravi, and Omar, we want to thank him for helping out with all the interviews that were conducted. We need a little bit of help, and we asked them and they said yes. So if you had an interview with them, that's awesome. And then also Carlos Soriano again for helping create the slide template for this meeting. I know he also did the previous one before, so thank you again. And a final thank you to all the new members who were able to show up today to the meeting. Thank you so much. Or if you're watching and recording too, thank you so much for watching. Next up is how to use Discord. So I'm gonna be going and sharing with everyone some of the things that you can do on Discord and how to use it, so you can like get more notifications, stuff like that. So first, when you open Discord and you're here, this is the AIAA Discord. So it's not only for Space City Rocketry. This is for all the competition teams that AIAA has. So for instance, you see Space City Rocketry here, and then you can see the UAV team, Hobby Rocketry, Amateur Radio Club, and some of the other stuff down here. So I guess for Space City Rocketry, where you're gonna be working will be here. So you have, of course, the Rocket Team General, which is where you'll be able to see anything regarding the rocketry team. And then you also have all the sub teams here. For most members, you only be able to see the sub team that you're on. So if you're in structures, you'll only have rocket team and structures. And then some other members, like the leads, have more channels open. But then you also, for AIAA members, I also recommend for y'all to check out like announcements, the general, the upcoming events, and some other stuff in here. However, I realized that sometimes it is hard to keep up with the notifications. So although we still want you to use stuff like the memes or random, I would suggest to, if you want to get your specific notifications, to mute the channel. So you can just right click it, you go to mute channel, and you can do it until I turn it back on. And that way you won't get notifications for the music bot, the memes, alumni or meeting links. I still recommend to check these out though, whenever you have the chance throughout the week. I guess the most important ones are, of course, the Rocket Team General and whatever sub team you're on, and always keep checking these out at the very top. Another thing that I want to share with y'all today is if you are on a specific sub team, let's say you are in 30K propulsion, and you can just read through it, whatever you sent. If you want to add the whole, I guess, channel for 30K propulsion, you just add 30K propulsion, and you will notify everyone on your right that is in that channel. Please do not use the at everyone when you're using the channels, because it notifies every single person. You will only want to notify the members you're trying to address. So in this case, it will be 30K propulsion. Now, in general, you can always add Space City Rocketry or SCR. You can see it right here, and you'll add every single member of Space City Rocketry that's in this channel. One last thing too is that we don't want you to spam. So if you're gonna be sending memes or any other stuff like that, we would really appreciate if you can just go to the memes or random section. If you have any social ideas for the team for anything AIAA related, do it on the social/ideas. Please don't spam the Rocket Team General or other sub teams. That's about it. Oh, actually, no, there's one last thing. I guess this is just preference. If you go to user settings, you can change some of the stuff here. But the one I wanted to talk about is appearance. If you feel like you're a little more productive using light mode, you can definitely change it here. I personally like it more, but for those who like dark mode, you can just keep it that way. And then same thing kind of goes for any other discourse that you have. If you don't want to get notifications there, you can definitely mute them with the notification settings. If you have other things, you can keep it, but that's about it. I think you should be checking these as much as you can so you can see any messages. This is when we share all the general meeting links, and you'll be able to communicate with your team members. If there are any other questions about Discord, you can ask at the end for the questions. That's it for Discord. I hope everyone learned something. Oh, yeah, the animation. I put a lot of work into that little animation. Here, let me try it again. Yeah. All right. General meetings. Gustavo, you want to take over this one?
Yeah, I'll take over it. So huge shout out to Garrett. He helped us secure a room in CBB so we can start having our in-person or general meetings in person. So that's really exciting because so far we've only been able to do it online, and we think there's a lot that can be pulled out of getting people in person and having them engage and all that stuff. So big thanks to Garrett. That's going to be starting on the 5th of October. So this coming Tuesday, obviously not today, but next week, we will be meeting in room 118 of the first floor of CBB. So that's really exciting. We want to do a lot of stuff in person. So I know everybody is really new to rocketry, and the first few weeks are just going to be a learning curve for everybody. So we're going to be having Oberon there, the rocket that we competed with this past summer. I'm going to be trying to break it down for everybody, so everybody has some, I guess, hands-on experience or some visual reference as to what all the rocket parts are and all that stuff. So that's really exciting. There's still going to be a hybrid option. So if you can't attend or anything like that, you can still attend virtually. And as always, we will be recording it so you can watch it later on. And slide, please. And just a few expectations on SCR and the lab. So in the lab, we do have some rules. Obviously, the lab is a lab, so we have to respect it and use it as a lab space. It isn't our lab. It is graciously let Dr. Hungerford graciously let us use his lab. He's not using the entire space, so he's letting us use the back half of his lab, which is really exciting. To do so, there are some rules in place. So we have to be signing in and out with a QR code that's posted on the door. You can't miss it. We need to know who's in and out of the lab for just security reasons and all that stuff. A sub-team lead or Irvin and I must be present. There are a few more people who have key access to the lab, but for now, just keep it to those people in the lab with you, just to make sure that everything is safe, everything is good. You cannot have any food or drink in the lab. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but this lab, it does have some residue of radioactive materials because it is a physics lab. So all the dust and stuff might, have some radioactivity. So we can't have any of that, no food or drink. It is safe though, just in case anybody was wondering. You have to clean up when you're finished. So there's plenty of tools and a bunch of stuff in the lab that are fun to mess around with. and are necessary whenever we're going to be doing anything in regards to the rocket. But please clean up after yourself. Leave the lab tidy for the next sub team that's in there, just so they can get their work done, just in a timely manner and just easier. They know where everything's at. And I was trying to grow a third arm. Okay, Francisco, if you really want to. The doors in the lab, please keep them closed. There is 2 doors that are marked as radioactive doors. Those are where the radioactive materials are stored. So please keep those closed at all times to maintain the safety standards at U of H. And 2, there's a door to the back of the lab. That is where a professor is going to be doing some research with some computers in there. So please just keep that closed. That is her space. We do have some stuff stored in there, but unless you're going to go grab that stuff, just keep that door closed. Second is attire. So whenever you go to the lab, please wear a mask, closed-toe shoes, and if you have long hair and you're doing anything in the lab, please tie your hair back. We don't want to have half your head ripped off. And then PPE when necessary. So I know structures does some stuff with epoxy, or if you're doing stuff with propulsion, all the chemicals and everything, it's pretty obvious you need to have your safety equipment on. So that's lab coats, safety goggles, gloves, earplugs, or whatever you need. Awesome.
All right. Last few things here that we have for you today are what we expect for you, I guess, weekly, or some of the things we want you to do. Of course, attending the general meetings on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Very important. This week it was on Zoom, but next week we'll be on hybrid. So we'll have a room at CBB 118, as Gustavo mentioned, where we'll be able to meet you guys in person, and then also have the option to attend online. So that's when we have more of like a team update regarding competition, regarding the sub teams, any big things that we do. Weekly, we have weekly updates for the sub teams where they mention what their progress was during the week, some of the tasks they have to complete it, and some of the things that we'll be doing. Which also brings me to the weekly sub team meetings. So each sub team has a sub team meeting throughout the week in which they go more in depth of what they're doing. They assign tasks. They kind of collaborate on what the team is going to be doing for the next week or two. Those are really important. I know right now, those are probably, you're still going to have the option to attend Zoom. You don't have to be at the lab. But the ones you do kind of have to be at the lab are the sub-team lab times. Those happen twice a week for each sub-team. They all have different lab times throughout the week. You don't have to be there both times, but if you can make it at least once, that's going to be great. That's when you do all the hands-on work and you can do a lot of team bonding. On the right-hand side, you can see some of our members working on stuff throughout the last year, especially over the last summer. There's a lot to learn. If you have any questions about the lab times, just message the sub-team lead on the channel. Also, if it looks like not a lot of members can make it a certain time, we'll try to accommodate within the next week or two and fit everyone in. But that is all we have for today. It was just an introduction to everyone for the team. Next week, we're going to be going over a lot more. There's a lot to cover. And also, don't worry if you didn't understand some of the things we talked about for your sub-team today or the other sub-teams. The leads have a lot of things prepared for you to learn, for you to do work, and to have a lot of fun. So I don't know if you have any last words, Goose, before we get into the questions.
No, I'm ready for the questions.
All right. We'll see what questions we have right now. Feel free to just unmute yourself and ask. No question.
Yeah.
I guess we just did a really good job at explaining everything, right?
Well, I got so on the schedule you sent out, it doesn't say the day, so it starts on Sunday. Is that?
Yes, that is correct. So
okay.
It shows 7 days. The first day all the way to the left would be Sundays. So avionics, recovery, and I think SRAT propulsion have meetings that day. That's on Sunday. And and then it ends on a Saturday. Somebody asked, is there anything we can do to prepare for the sub-team meetings? No, I guess on the first time you meet with them during the sub-team meetings, they'll be helping you out so you can be prepared for the future after that. Next question, what will the sub-teams meet, especially avionics? So they will meet at the lab on SCR 407. So that's Science and Research Building 1, 4th floor, room number 7.
Yeah, just real quick, once you go up the elevators, you're gonna be facing like this wall, has like this poster set up. You're gonna take a right and then take a right again down the hallway, and it's gonna be on your right hand side. So there's a door there. It has a little QR code on it. It's you can't miss it. I mean, you can, but just take 3 rights. You'll find it.
Other questions? You're welcome.
Could you remind the team about what dues have to be paid?
Thank you for bringing that up. That was actually really clutch. So as I mentioned before, AIAA, dues. So if you are part of Space City Rocketry, you are part of AIAA, which means you have to pay dues. Those dues are $25 a year or $15 a semester. If we can get a link sent out here on the Discord, and we can also send a couple links on the Rocket Team general chat, or also just the general chat for the whole AIAA org. I think you can just go to the website and you have to use PayPal. You have to use PayPal to pay through it. Yeah, and so I guess another thing I can mention, yeah, you'll be going into a lab throughout the week. There's a lot of tools and cool stuff in there you can use. We're definitely trying to get more things in there, more shelves, more things to store. Any other questions?
It can be about anything. It can be about the sub teams, the competition, anything about us specifically
you can
as
ask
human
about,
beings.
Yeah, you can ask about me. You have t-shirts for Space City Rocketry. We don't have t-shirts for Space City Rocketry, but we will have AIAA t-shirts. Those we're still, I guess, on a competition phase for a design for the shirts. If you are interested in competing and get your design on the t-shirts, they are, I think the competition is the first,
I believe.
Yes. Yeah, the
Yes,
first of this month. So you have like 2 days to come up with the design.
There'll be an extension for it too, so for the deadline, I'm pretty sure. So
okay, yeah, and once we have a design ready, we can we'll be, I guess, sending out the links of how to buy them and stuff. The shirts are cool. Last year's shirts are one of my favorites.
So that's an interesting question. Not a lot of people on the team have made it to competition, or like in-person competition, just because in 2019 the team competed and that went well, but in 2020 when they competed that year, the competition got canceled due to COVID altogether. And then this past year for 2021, so this past June, they had it all online. But I guess just from an overview standpoint, you kind of go, and then there's events all day in terms of like seminars, there's workshops, just different places where you can meet and greet different people, as well as the actual competitions. There is other competitions other than just IREC or the intercollegiate rocket engineering competition that we compete at. There are also plenty of other launches and stuff, but there is a schedule that I can post later on kind of what happens exactly day to day, hour to hour at Spaceport if you're interested. But that is a overview. Hopefully that answers your question. Yes, there is a fee. I can't say exactly right now if everybody's gonna have to, pay their fee if they make it to the, if they're trying to go with the team as like a competition member. But if you're trying to go on your own alongside the team, then there will be a fee to go, as well as whatever you have to pay in terms of housing, or not housing, but like hotels, food, gas, all that stuff. The way it happened last year uh, is they obviously the leads all go. So Irvin, me, and the other 6 leads will go to competition, and the leads will choose a +1 if funding suffices. And so that way we're going to have somewhere between like 15 to 20 members total going as a competition group. And then anybody else who would like to go attend the event, Spaceport America, they're more than welcome to go, but they'd be having to go on their own dime. It is in Las Cruces, New Mexico. So it's a little ways away, but we're excited. It's fun stuff. It is like, if you know where White Sands is, the like missile testing place for the Air Force, it is right by there. Yes, Carlos.
Is there like a Google Drive or something for the team where I can find more information about like, I don't know, meetings and stuff?
Yes, there is a Google Drive. I will go ahead and post that on the Discord right after this meeting, or I guess in between questions. And on that Google Drive, you're going to find all the information on all the sub teams, all they've been working on, all the drives from previous years' competitions and all that stuff is on there. So if you want to like look through what happened with Oberon and Prometheus, you can go through and figure that stuff out. But also like all the details on like the competition stuff, I'll have posted on there under a competition folder. And yeah, there's gonna be a good bit. And if you guys are interested at your own pace, you can just go through everything and be exposed to everything that is Space City rocketry. Yeah, like Haley is mentioning, the whole competition thing is a little ways out. There are schedules on what's going to be going on at the competition and everything, but like everything, it depends a lot on funding, on how much we can secure for this year, as well as when we get closer to the date, just figuring out how the whole itinerary is going to work out exactly for us.
Any more questions? Are we nice? We're the kindest of people.
Super nice. Everybody's super nice.
Everyone's good.
Everybody's
Actually,
family.
no, for real, everyone's really welcoming. As we mentioned, our goal for the team is to build a rocket and have fun throughout the whole process. How short is Ravi? Ravi is, if I remember correctly, 311. 311. 313. Yeah, he is 313.
Thank you for coming out, Carlos, or Juan Carlos.
Yeah, thank you. With the 6-inch wingspan. All right. Any questions? Gustavo just sent the link to the drive right now. Of course, the leads they can talk more about it too in their meetings and where to find things there. When do y'all usually hoop? Oof. Hey, I haven't been hooping as much recently, whenever the MVP awards happened that I choose myself, that's when I start hooping more. I had a little injury in my finger, so I can't play for like 2 weeks. But once I do, we'll play. Thank you for joining. I guess now I'll stop sharing my screen and just hang out here. If anyone wants to talk about anything, I'll keep track of the chat. And thank you. I'll stop the recording.